Greetings to you all and welcome back to Let's Play Command & Conquer. This is GTI number 13, I think. Hang on a second. Yes, GTI 13. Let's not read, let's watch.
This is what it's all about. We've cornered Kane in his biochemical research laboratory. Fight your way to the lab and level it. Intelligence informs us that Kane's on site, so complete destruction is imperative. This ought to help. The boys at R&D have completed preliminary testing on the ion cannon, the next generation of strategic defense armaments. Its geosynchronous orbit gives it a target divergence factor of 8 to 1. It's an awesome weapon, the most powerful in our arsenal. You fought long and hard, Commander, and it's all come down to this. We're with you. Good luck.
So then, lots to talk about. First of all, this is it. We've got Kane cornered. He's trapped in some lab somewhere. We're going to bring him down, bring peace to the world. That's great. Secondly, we've been given access to the ion cannon. That's great. Those of you who have played the game will know and love the ion cannon. It is some kind of satellite orbiting the planet, and what it can do is it can call down a gigantic laser to a single spot. On this game it hits just one tile, so one unit or one building of your choice, but we've been given access to it and we're damn well going to use it because it's so awesome as a weapon. Other thing, we need to restart the mission to see if there's any fancy little clips we've missed out on. Okay, that made no sense whatsoever, but maybe it suggested to me that we might get the airstrike. We always get the airstrike when we kill the SAM sites, but maybe we'll get it a little earlier on this level. I don't know, it would be nice though. Now this level, I'm moving leftward because I know that rightward is just an end of the map, and southward is water. Northward is the whole rest of the level and the enemy's base. That means we go leftward. So this level is famous for the fact that it has the ion cannon, which we're going to love so much when we get it. But really, this is the level that unlocks a lot of tech. They make a big point of the ion cannon, and rightly so, but there's a lot of tech you get in this level that's really, I think, could have been better split up. Maybe something last level, something the level before. Yeah, introduced slowly, and this level is just, here's the ion cannon, enjoy yourself. But no, this level gives us a few new things. You may be wondering why I'm not deploying near this Tiberium field, and your answer just appeared on screen, because I'm deploying near this Tiberium field. Because, well, there's two Tiberium fields, I want to go into the middle of them so I can harvest them both when one runs dry. So this will do me just fine. I'll split up my tanks into some kind of defensive formation. And start going with the base. Oh, what's this other tech I was talking about that's so important? Well, here it is. It's the concrete wall. Yes, at long last we can build concrete walls. They cost $100 per tile, which is quite expensive, but it's worth it for a good bit of concrete just to keep all of the enemies out. Wonderful. So yes, the ion cannon and concrete walls in the same level. Good grief. We also get the advanced power plant. Now, the game doesn't mention this, but the advanced power plant, I think I've said before, is generally the advanced tech building. So by building the advanced power plant, we can then build a building that lets us control the ion cannon. So that's why we have the advanced power plant now. We have to have it in order to be able to get the ion cannon. But I do think it would have been nice if maybe they'd given us the advanced power plant last level. Something like that, you know, just split it up a little bit. Because up to now we've been having to build about 3-4 power plants, which was a bit silly. And there's nothing that says you can't give us the advanced power plant without giving us the ion cannon as well, so that's just my thoughts. Anyway, gonna forego the comm centre in favour of the weapons factory first this time. Not normal for me to do that. But I think on this level it's warranted, because there's so much Tiberium, I want to get a second harvester out as soon as possible. edge of the map is over here, just to show you this is an attack upwards level, not an attack leftwards level. So that's where all the enemies are going to come from. That's an artillery piece, and that is a harvester. Quite strange. What is their harvester doing quite so near us? That'll all become clear. This artillery piece needs to die though. Take that out with a tank, that'll be fine. Not sure what our mammoth's doing, but he can just watch the tail, that's fine. It's that time of the level again where we just need to set up a defensive base as best we can. No infantry coming our way, but the game gave us a pretty good mix of units. Not very often the game gives us something quite like this, but hey, we've got some anti-vehicle stuff, we've got some anti-infantry stuff, and we've got ourselves some all-purpose long-range stuff. So hey, that's a nice mix of units. Much better than any mix of units I ever produced. Oh dear, I just go tank, tank, tank. I got a little bit better though. In Nod, I started building flame tanks, and I had a couple of recon bikes. You know, that's crazy for me. But still, tank, tank, tank. That's always the way we're going to do it. Once this is up, we notice we have exactly... Get out of my way, you! Enough money to build a harvester, but you're going to ruin my plans of credit-wise precision by giving me another 700 credits, you evil swine. But we'll get that up first, then we'll start on one of those. Not going to build that yet because I'm going to have 700 credits over, which means I won't be able to complete either of them if I try to build them both at the same time. So we'll just do this one at a time, nice and slow. You could on this level go 3 harvester. I think you'd be alright because there's a lot of Tiberium, and I haven't shown you yet, but I think there's a 3rd patch somewhere. There's nothing over there, there's just a little cliff. I don't think you can get on at all. Unit lost. Unit lost. Ah! That's what I get for sending people ahead on their own. You get harvesting. Unlike the Nod harvesters, you must be ordered to harvest. But yes, that cliff over on the far right is just a inaccessible cliff. We don't need to worry about that at all. Do need to scout out. Hello there. Oh, good lord, we've attacked you. I was going to say that we do need to scout out the rest of the top right side, because I don't think it's all walled off. And the enemy team aren't going to be too pleased when we start killing their harvester, but that can't be helped on this level because the enemy's base is so close to ours that we share a Tiberium patch. But hey, we've started, so we may as well finish. I may as well slow the game down as well. This is a little hectic. I'll slow it down. Whilst we fight, I'll have one of those. We need more power anyway, so now is a good time to get one. Some people will sell their old power plant once they've built their advanced one. You can do that. That's absolutely fine. Or Tiberium. I don't think it hurts your tech in any way. I don't think it prohibits anything from being built if you sell the old power plant, but I'm not certain. And I'm not going to do it because I like the safety net of having that little extra power plant. So I shall just be making do. Could do with the guard tower really. They're using a lot of infantry, but no barracks because I can't build the guard tower. Not sure if I've ever said that, but you do need a barracks in order to build the guard tower. Let's not put all the power together, that's a silly move. There we go, and let's get a decent map, and we can see that they're attacking with one rocket launcher man. Down he goes. So thankfully our rocket launchers are pretty effective at dealing with the enemy. See, even when this guy is aiming at him, he killed him. Wonderful. Now the reason we're being attacked quite so heavily, quite so early on, is because we attacked their harvester, which I didn't want to do for a little bit. I wanted to set up the base a bit more first. But what's done is done. We just have to live with this. I think we can hold it off. We have a mammoth tank after all. And as we all know, mammoth tanks are incredibly good.
Construction complete. New construction.
Will grab myself one of those. Yes, I see those other buildings. We shall discuss them momentarily. Fear not.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Not a problem.
You can see just how annoyed the enemy was that we destroyed their precious harvester. They seem to have sent absolutely everything towards me, and we've held it off, which means absolutely everything was very, very weak. It does beg the question, why didn't the computer harvest this patch, which is significantly closer? Harvester, if you don't know, is harvesting this patch, and they're going along this path and then up here and over here somewhere. I'm not sure if the base is there or up there or whatever. The base is somewhere over here, but it has to travel through this little route, which makes no sense, because it should just harvest over here. Nevertheless, we have protection. We have a sneaky fellow hiding in the trees. Look, you can't even see him. Now that is a plan. Always good to get up a barracks, even if you don't plan on getting any infantry, because 1, engineers are awesome. 2, you can get APCs if you have a barracks. Without a barracks, you can't get any APCs, which is a nice touch. I like that. Now, last level when we played some Nod, what did we have? We had an obelisk. So what do we get? Advanced guard towers. Strange that Nod didn't give us the advanced power plant, because the obelisk takes up an awful lot of energy, so you would have thought that it would have been a nice time to give us the advanced power plant, but no, apparently not. I do love how advanced power plants are essentially power plants, but this cord, which seems to go nowhere, is now right up to a pot of water. Wonderful. Never understood how these things are supposed to make power. If anybody knows, let me know. Maybe it's some kind of fusion or something. I don't know much about those kind of sciences. So I'll assume they're making energy out of giant cups of tea. Well, not tea, it's still water. Soon to be tea. I'm British, everything relates back to tea.
Building.
And we shall build ourselves an advanced guard tower. Now it's the equivalent of an obelisk, and that is the advanced base defense, but it's worse than an obelisk in every single way. It's slightly better, as I jar the keyboard, it's slightly better against infantry because the rockets that it fires have splash, and so it can kill more than 1 infantry per shot, whereas the obelisk of course is limited to just zapping a single infantry. But an obelisk can also zap a single tank, and that's a lot more useful. If there's a lot of infantry, that's fine, just stick 1 flame tank or a couple of flame infantry next to the obelisk and it'll be fine. So I'd much sooner have an obelisk, but when you're GDI, you get advanced guard towers, which aren't bad. But their strength is that they're not bad against infantry, and then they have these, which are purpose-built to kill infantry. So a little bit strange. Squadron of enemy units coming to kill me. Why does this harvester keep going around the back?
Construction complete.
No reason for it whatsoever. I'm going to place these 2 next to one another. I've never liked the building animation of the advanced guard tower. It just kind of slots up out the floor and then extends. I don't know, I prefer the normal building animations of things like barracks, which actually look like they're being built. This thing looks like it unpacks. It's just odd. Not sure if we're going to want orcas this level. I can't remember how we are set SAM site-wise. There might be a lot, there might not. One thing we're definitely going to need though is a repair bay. Because if I remember correctly, our list of amazing new tech is not yet finished. There's something else. I'm contemplating building some sandbags as well to direct enemies away from this part of the base. I'm not sure how it rates on the fairness scale, but I sort of want to force all of the enemies to fight their way through this fellow.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Advanced guard tower, of course, fires very, very quickly, especially compared to the obelisk, which fires much slower. But even if every single rocket hit, it still does a lot less damage than the obelisk does. 2 vehicles. So it's by far and away my least favourite over the advanced base defences. And in all honesty, I prefer the turrets to this thing. They have their use. And the computer does love their infantry, so against a computer it's great, but against a human player it's less great. That's my opinion anyway. And mine is the only opinion you're going to get, so you're going to have to suck it up. Right then, here comes a couple of light tanks to be saved for the next video. One of them is callously shooting my barracks, the evil swine. Hopefully you'll join me next video. We're nice and established now. We're going to get scouting and try and find out what the enemies look like in this level. Hopefully you'll join me for that, and I shall see you then.